I've never had a Negroni. I don't know what it's gonna be like, but I propose that when we drink it, we call that act riding the Negroni pony.
Giddy up.
The modern road makes a Negroni.
Back again at our favorite secret bar in all of Austin with our favorite mixologist, Trever. I don't know what to even expect from something called a Negroni. I assume it's rich and robust. I think of black coffee.
No, not at all.
Well, okay.
I'm going to act all superior even though I've never had one either. So the Negroni was allegedly created in 1919 in Florence, Italy by, and you're gonna love this, Count Negroni.
No way!
I knew you were gonna love
this
that.
This is the Count's Witch's Brew. I'm so excited. Count Negroni's Folly.
He went to a bartender and wanted an Americano, which is like a refreshing drink, but instead of the soda water, he wanted to put gin in there. And instead of garnishing it with a lemon, he garnished it with an orange, and thus the Negroni was born.
Okay, I'm already deeply intrigued. This sounds nothing like what I expected the Negroni to be.
No,
this is amazing.
Because when you put gin in there, it's usually much more refreshing than something dark and mysterious like you were expecting.
Yeah, no, well, first of all, the name Count Negroni does sound like a vampire demon.
It does.
But then he's like, I like a light, refreshing drink, my friends.
All right, how do we begin?
Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna start with a chilled coupe.
So this is called a coupe?
Yes, this is a coupe glass. And they say that this glass was fashioned after Marie Antoinette's breast.
That's where that whole saying about anything more than a champagne glass is a waste.
This is pre-chilled. But what we're gonna do with Negroni, we are going to do an absinthe rinse inside of this.
Oh my God.
So today we're using pernod. Now, when you're doing a rinse, if you don't have an atomizer to actually spray the glass down, you simply just want a dash of it in there. And we're gonna swirl the absinthe around in there to kind of coat the glass. But the absinthe is not gonna stay because when it's a rinse, it's dumped out.
Got it.
But that flavor.
So this will just give us a little bit of a hint of anise?
Yes, and it'll adhere to the glass, and that flavor's still gonna be in.
I don't want anything that tastes like anus, I'm sorry.
So making a Negroni is pretty simple. There's only 3 ingredients, and it's all equal parts. We're gonna start with 1 ounce of gin. Today we're using Moody June, which is a really good Texas gin. It's not too floral. It really doesn't overpower the drink, but it gives a nice consistency. Then we're gonna use 1 ounce of sweet vermouth.
We've used vermouth a lot before.
You're gonna find this in most classic cocktails.
Vermouth is just like nuclear wine, basically.
Yeah, it's just a fortified one.
And it's something you want to use sparingly.
Yeah, typically you're not gonna use more than 1 to 2 ounces of vermouth in any drink. And in fact, you're gonna dash it a lot when it comes to drier vermouths. And then the last ingredient we're gonna use is Campari, which is an Italian Amaro.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was a lot of words I don't understand. First of all, you said the name,
Campari.
Campari, which is an Italian, I understood that word.
Amaro.
Amaro.
This is going to act, this is a bitter spirit, and this is going to add bitter to the drink.
Got it, but they're not bitters like we would put in a Manhattan.
No.
Campari is really common. You can find it at most liquor stores.
Okay, so now we have all the ingredients in the yarai. And like other stir cocktails, we're just going to add ice. And we're going to give this about 20 to 30 revolutions here. We're really just going to chill this entire drink down.
So again, you're stirring so that we don't dilute it with water,
Correct.
but we are chilling everything.
Correct.
So it was Campari, gin,
And vermouth.
and vermouth.
And now you're going to take your glass with that absinthe that's been sitting in there.
Right.
Going to dump that out.
Oh, and the absinthe rinse, right.
Boy, you could smell that absinthe from here
Yeah.
just now. So I guess by coating it with that absinthe, you get the aromatics for sure.
Traditionally, you can use an orange. I like to use a lemon. It just kind of gives a more balanced flavor. And we're gonna express the oils out of there. Gonna rub the rim, set it right on there. And there you have your Negroni.
Man, I don't know what to expect from this.
This was traditionally used as an aperitif.
What is an aperitif?
An aperitif is something that you would drink before your meal, an appetizer.
Oh, got it, like an appetizer meal.
Brian, I'm interested to see what kind of flavors you're getting out of this.
Well, and so this is all alcoholics.
Yes.
Everything in there is alcoholics. There's virtually no water because
straight
we
booze.
stirred. I'm trying to figure out what I'm expecting because I'm thinking about the hints of the absinthe and then the gin and then the bitters and all
Sure.
that. It's-
Probably really crisp.
First off, that rinse with the absinthe makes a difference right at the beginning because the first thing I tasted was that hint of the absinthe. I still don't perceive that I've tasted the gin. It does taste very, very clean, and the aftertaste really lingers. I don't know, it's got that bitter aftertaste for a long time.
And that's the Campari that you're tasting there.
This is probably one that'll sneak up on you, right?
Oh my God, I would imagine, right? That's what, 3.5 ounces of alcohol in there,
Oh, that is really unusual.
right?
Yeah. It's got this strange dry bite to it, but also like a really rich, sweet upfront taste.
The gin that I used in this drink kind of takes a back seat to the rest of the ingredients.
Yeah.
Depending on the gin that you use, you're gonna get different flavor profiles. Because if you use, say, like a gin called the Botanist, it's a very floral, very potent gin. You're gonna taste the gin more if I were to use that. But traditionally in the Negroni, you're gonna use a drier gin.
Wow.
You can really taste the Campari in this.
And now I can really feel it, that warmth in the belly.
Yeah.
And that is straight up.
And that's why it's an aperitif, because it actually expands your stomach.
Wow, I didn't know that. So is the Negroni always this color?
Yes, because of the Campari.
Got it.
So it's an absinthe rinse
On a chilled glass.
on a chilled glass with gin, sweet vermouth, and Campari.
And then just a little bit of essential oils around the top.
Yes, sir.
Which there's almost like a soapy bitter aftertaste. Would you say that's accurate?
Yes, I would.
And I feel weird saying that because, like, why would I drink it if it tastes like soap?
Campari will hit people's palates in different ways. Some people don't. I mean, some people will try Campari for the first time and never drink it again. It is an acquired taste, but once you get used to it, you're gonna find that it becomes very versatile.
I wonder if it's like cilantro. You know how some people taste cilantro
Nothing
just
but soap.
as soap?
Yeah. The curious thing to me is that you get the sweetness up front, but then that wave of bitterness hits a good 2 or 3 seconds after you've swallowed, which
Yeah.
is strange.
And then you've got this lasting dryness in your mouth.
Yeah.
No, it's really complicated. It's a lot like the margarita in that way, in that there are a lot of different flavor profiles that you're picking up on.
The experience has changed as we've worked our way down because all the absinthe is now gone. I'm not detecting that absinthe hit right
You really
at the
only
front.
get that. It usually lasts about halfway through the drink.
Here's to the Count. To you,
Salud.
Negroni. May you ride the Negroni pony in heaven forever.
Wake it, shake it, Negroni pony. Come on, Moni Moni.
I got it.
Come on, sing it along.
dun, 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 dun.
Leaving me out here with my ass in the wind.